Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make this farmhouse-inspired Dollar Tree pumpkin topiary. To make this project, you're going to need 3 Dollar Tree foam pumpkins, 1 Dollar Tree fall bucket, floral foam, 4 popsicle sticks, moss, twine, white acrylic paint, and a paintbrush, skewers or chopsticks, burlap, glue gun, and glue sticks. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to paint my foam pumpkins with this white acrylic paint. I purchased this paint from Hobby Lobby. It's called the Americana brand in the Snow Titanium White color. I used a 40% coupon, so I only paid $2.99 for this paint. I will list down below all the items that you need to complete this project. You could probably almost purchase everything at the Dollar Tree, but I was just using some stuff that I already had on hand. As you can see, sometimes I'm not prepared, so I went and grabbed some newspaper to cover my surface, but you guys don't have to do that. But I'm a messy painter. You'll see I end up getting it all over my hands and whatnot, so I did not want to get it on my crafting mat or on my table, so that's why I grabbed some newspaper. When painting your pumpkins, you're going to want to make sure you cover all of the sides of the pumpkins in the white and most of the top. The bottom doesn't matter because no one's going to see that and you're stacking it up, so it'll be covered. But all the sides need to be covered in the white and most of the top needs to be covered in the white. I'm applying a second coat of paint to my pumpkins. You can see the top 2 pumpkins only have 1 coat of paint, and that's what they look like with just 1 coat. So now I'm just going through and putting a second coat on top of my pumpkins. You're going to want to let your paint dry between each coat. What I did is I took my hair dryer just to make the process go faster, and I just used my hair dryer to dry the pumpkins. But you can air dry it too if you want, but I find the hair dryer makes the process go a lot faster. You guys, when I went to Dollar Tree to buy these foam pumpkins the other day, I noticed that they are getting a lot of Christmas stuff in and less fall stuff in. It's just funny to me because it's still September and it's pretty hot here in Florida, but we're already getting Christmas stuff on the shelves. Comment down below what your favorite fall or even Christmas item that you bought from the Dollar Tree has been so far this year. I'd love to hear what you guys say. You guys can stop after 2 coats if you wanted, but I felt like for my pumpkins, I wanted them to be really white, and the orange was still poking through a little bit. And since these are white pumpkins, I decided to go ahead and put a 3rd coat on. If you were doing a different color, like in my other video, I did that pretty agave color, you would only need like 2 coats of that. But since these pumpkins are going to be white, I felt like 3 coats was perfect for them. And they're foam pumpkins too, so foam tends to be a bit harder to paint, and it kind of just soaks up a lot of the liquid, so the 3 coats was perfect for these pumpkins. This is what my pumpkins look like after the 3 coats. As you can see, they're nice and filled in, and the white just looks really good, and you do see a little bit of the orange on the top, but I will be covering that up with moss, so that is a-okay. I just moved my pumpkins to the side and I grabbed my little bucket. You could leave this bucket as is. It's cute with a little owl, but I decided, since I'm doing more of a farmhouse look, to cover it burlap. But first you see me trying to rip this owl off and it was not going anywhere. So I just decided, since I'm using the burlap, I'll just cover it up and then I'll face the owl backwards. But you guys can probably find a plain bucket at your Dollar Tree too. Mine did not have any of the plain, like, silver rustic looking buckets. They only had the fall and Halloween buckets at the moment, so that's just what I'm working with. But you guys can use any kind of bucket you like. This burlap is from Hobby Lobby and it was in the fall section, so it was 40% off. Now you see me just taking a glue gun and just kind of lathering the glue on top of the owl, and I'm just gonna hot glue my burlap onto the bucket. I'm wrapping the burlap around the entire outside of the bucket, and I'm just adding glue to various spots on the outside of the bucket as well. I only wrapped my burlap around my bucket once, but you can wrap it around more than once if you don't like the red peeking through, but I didn't mind the red showing, so I just did one time on the burlap. And this is what the bucket looks like after you've wrapped the burlap around it. This floral foam is from Walmart, but I know the Dollar Tree sells it as well. I just took a knife and I cut mine in half so I would be able to stack the two little squares on top of each other inside of my bucket. After I've placed my floral foam inside my bucket, I'm just taking a skewer and just poking it through the middle. I ended up needing 2 skewers, and you'll see later on in the video why. But you could use skewers or a chopstick or any kind of wood rod thing that you have will work. Now I'm just taking a handful of moss and I'm going to add it on top of the foam square, and this will just cover up everything that's inside the bucket so you won't be able to see the square or the skewer at all. Now I'm just taking my first pumpkin, and you can see that I removed the green stem that was on top, and I am hot gluing the bottom of the pumpkin, and I'm going to place it on top of the skewer. After you've placed your first pumpkin on, you're going to want to take some hot glue and top the first pumpkin with some more moss. And this will cover up all that orange that you were unable to paint, and you won't even be able to see that, and the moss will be peeking through each layer of the pumpkins. After you've added your moss on top of your first pumpkin, you're going to want to take your second pumpkin, add a little bit of hot glue to the bottom, and just press it on top of the first pumpkin. I had to add another skewer on top of my pumpkin because, as you can see, the first skewer only went through the first and second, or half of the second pumpkin, so I just went ahead and placed another skewer on top of the second pumpkin so I would be able to attach my third pumpkin on top. Before I attach my last pumpkin on top of my topiary, I needed to make my stem for it. I'm doing the same method that I did in my Dollar Tree farmhouse pumpkin video. I'll link that down below for you guys. But you're just going to take 2 popsicle sticks and do like a zigzag with some hot glue, and then layer 2 more popsicle sticks on top of that. Now I'm just taking my popsicle sticks and I'm adding hot glue to the top half of the popsicle sticks, and I'm going to take some twine and wrap it around the top half. After I've made my pumpkin stem, I'm going to go ahead and just press it down into the top of the pumpkin. You're going to want to add some hot glue to the base of the pumpkin stem just to make sure it's nice and secure into the pumpkin. Now I'm just taking some hot glue and some moss, and I'm adding that on top of the second pumpkin before I attach my last pumpkin to the topiary. Now I'm taking my last pumpkin and I'm adding some hot glue to the bottom, and I'm just putting it on top of the second pumpkin. Once you've added your last pumpkin to your topiary, you're just going to take some hot glue and add it on top, and then you're going to press some more moss onto the top to cover up the orange that's peeking through. And here is the finished product. I absolutely love how this farmhouse pumpkin topiary turned out. It was really easy to make, and I feel like this would go with most decor in your home. For this shot, I did add it outside just so you could see it in the natural light. I will be moving mine inside, but if you have a covered front porch, I think it would be okay, but if it's not covered, I would leave it inside. If you enjoy these type of DIYs, don't forget to hit that like button and that notification bell so you'll be notified whenever I post a new video. Also, if you're new here, I'd love for you to stick around and subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!